Warning, don't watch this video if you want to believe that discipline is the only way to reach your goals. For most of my life, I thought if I could just be more disciplined, then I could reach my goals. Specifically around my health, my body, and also my business. I would say things like, if I could just work out 5 days a week, then I could have and be happy with the body that I have. If I could post every day at 3 o'clock, then my business could be successful. If I could just stop eating sugar. Sound familiar? And as a clinical hypnotherapist and a transformation coach, this is the #1 request that I hear from my clients. They say, can you help me please become more disciplined so that I can reach my goals? I have a lot to say about what works, what doesn't, and if you watch till the end of this video, you're gonna have a completely different perspective on what it takes to reach your goals. And it might not be more discipline. My name is Soul, and as a bridge between spirituality and business, it brings me deep satisfaction to help people who are committed to growth, fun, and creating a beautiful world. Go ahead and hit the subscribe and the bell button if you'd like to be notified every time I post a video. A lot of people assume that because I have a beautiful, peaceful, abundant, loving life, that I must be really disciplined. This couldn't be further from the truth. I don't need rules. I don't need routines. I don't really need much discipline because I have devotion. Devotion to peace, devotion to beauty, and most importantly, devotion to writing a beautiful story for myself and others. I have no rules. I have no routines. I do whatever I want whenever I want. And somehow everything always gets done. Often timelier than I even expected or would have done if I was trying to plan for it. No need to control at all. I have a deep level of trust that creates an insane level of beauty and bounty that still staggers me, given that I came from a childhood of poverty and abuse and addiction. I carried those struggles into my adult life and into all of my relationships until the day that I discovered that there was gold in all of those challenges. And I became able to see just how beautiful it all was. So I decided to tell a beautiful story, and now my life is beautiful. The discipline is not in doing the same actions at the same time every day. And I want to explain the difference between devotion and discipline, because this one transmission is so profoundly life-changing. When my clients make this shift, they start to accomplish their goals with way more ease. It's like night and day how much more joy they experience on the path to accomplishing their goals. Discipline creates an agenda over how the work gets done, whereas devotion is motivated by the heartfelt intention and is willing to shift and flow with life in any given moment. Discipline says I have to do the same thing at the same time every single day, regardless of how I feel. Devotion says how I feel matters, and there are actually important messages that my body is communicating to me, and so even when I experience resistance, I tune in to listen to what my body and life is communicating to me. Discipline is focused primarily on action, and it says I must do this action, and it's the only way and it's the best way. Devotion is focused on alignment and says I am open to learning new things and new ways and easier ways and better ways and taking new inspired action. Discipline is often motivated by fear that if I don't do this action, I will not get the results. This is, of course, is riddled with fear of failure, insecurities, and it supports hustle culture and burnout. The path of devotion expects challenges to come, expects the resistance to come, so that you can be disciplined in your thinking. In other words, you can learn and grow about what the situations are teaching you, about how you can innovate, how you can evolve and change and grow to do things better, to do things more efficiently. In other words, how to do more with less. Discipline can be stubborn and defensive. It can ask you to isolate yourself from anybody else who doesn't have the same goals or beliefs as you, because it's like shaky. You can't be tested. It's not really on a strong foundation. And so you have to be surrounded by other people who are doing the same thing. Otherwise, you might fail. Devotion asks you to stay open-minded and to learn how to listen to yourself, how to listen to life, and how to listen to other people, and how to be able to hear other people's opinions without it taking you off your center, without it taking you off your path. Being able to, in the chaos of everybody else's things going on, stay true to you. And this is an absolutely fundamental skill that needs to be developed in any kind of long-term successful relationship. Discipline gives you more perceived certainty, but it might narrow your growth to a limited skill set, which might be exactly what you're wanting. So it's not necessarily bad, but I just want to highlight the difference. And I've seen many friends of mine and also partners and also my clients who have been committed to some kind of strategy for a long term, whether it's like working out to a specific fitness plan or following a strategy to grow their business, and they were just so committed to that specific thing and they got really good at it, but the result they got wasn't what they expected. You know, they thought like, if I lift this amount of weights this often, I'm gonna get this much muscle. I've seen so many people who weren't actually able to grow their muscles even though they followed the plan perfectly. Maybe they still got stronger, but they didn't get the exact expected results. So what I'm trying to say here is that you can follow the plan perfectly, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the results. Devotion, on the other hand, invites you within during times of uncertainty, and this deepens your self-trust. This is so important right now in the world. We don't know what's around the corner. This is such an important thing to develop. And it also leaves more room for pleasant surprises, for magic, for magical experiences, and openness to hearing new solutions to old problems. Discipline requires only that the task be completed, whereas devotion requires presence of heart in all that you do. Discipline says, I want to get something out of this, whereas devotion says, I want to give myself to this. Discipline can reject the flow of organic energy, in other words, making you feel turned off. Devotion turns on the flow of energy. Devotion will turn you on. And I have seemingly unlimited energy because I'm devoted to my path. The beauty way, the powerful way. I'm in it for the path itself, for the magic, for the awakening of even more beauty. I can't not share my devotion in everything that I do. It's like it's in everyone that I meet. It's in all. It is felt because it is me. It's not something that I do. It's who I am. I wake up inspired, I go to bed inspired, I work all day and see clients all day, and it energizes me because I'm devoted. My heart is in it. And can you imagine what that does for my health? I'm in the greatest health of my life, not because I follow any rules or diet or exercise or meditate. I don't even meditate every day, but I have such tremendous peace because I'm aligned with life. I'm flowing with life. And I really believe this is one of the most important skills that any of us can have. I mean, if you're a Navy SEAL, go for the discipline. I mean, that's probably more important to you. But it's a lot easier if you got your heart into it, right? I mean, there are things you will maybe want to learn. Here's the thing. We're all on our own unique journey. There's nothing wrong with discipline. What I'm trying to express is that for me, the discipline is in the thinking. The discipline is in orienting towards accurate perception of what's going on so that you're not just going through the motions of something. You can actually get way more done, like accomplish greater results with much less action when you are fully present and it is aligned with the rest of life. So you might be the type of person who likes to do the same thing at the same time every day, eat the same thing for lunch, or you just love to automate things so you don't have to think about it. And that's amazing. That's such a great thing. But when my students are ready to hit the easy button and actually experience greater joy on their path, we immediately go to a couple of questions, which I'm going to share with you now. The first thing, the obvious thing, is what are you devoted to? If you don't know, this is going to take a little bit of soul searching. That's like a whole other video. But are you enthusiastic about the path itself, or are you just wanting the end result? Are you in it for the journey? What is your intention and why? You could just pause the video and sit with that and journal and like really explore your answers to this question. I love reading your comments and I love hearing what you're passionate about. So let me know in the comments, what are you devoted to? So have you thought about this before? Is this new to you? I'd love to hear, what are you devoted to? A final thing that is really important that I need to highlight is that discipline isn't about bulldozing yourself. The true discipline is in accurate perception. It is about your ability to work with the challenges, the pain, and the resistance that arises, and being able to see and feel and hear so deeply and to be aware of why you have that resistance and why it's coming up and what it's actually wanting you to learn. And once you understand the lessons, you're able to make a decision with your conscious, present mind, your free will. And you can make a decision that's actually in your best interest, rather than just something that's automated that you decided a month ago. Doing so will make it so that all of you can be on board, that you're doing something because you actually want to, because your heart is in it, even if it feels uncomfortable. This is devotion. Devotion to overcoming the challenges and staying the path. I'm so curious how this is landing for you. Thoughts, questions, anything you wanted to learn more about. If you have any requests for anything you'd like me to make another video on, please let me know in the comments below. And if you are ready for a quantum leap in your life, come to thelivingnarrative.com and you can book your first session. You can find the link in the description below. Here's a couple more videos for you to check out. And as always, hit subscribe and the bell button if you'd like to be notified every time that I post a video. And if you got something out of this video, go ahead and hit that like button too. And I'll see you in the next episode.